Collective's Splash of Color live event hosted by Christy from Christy's Crafty Cottage. If you're seeing the live button, we are live. If not, you're on the replay, and that is great too. Thank you so much for watching. And today our live event the theme is Splash of Color, and I am so excited to play with a bunch of color in my favorite medium of choice here, which is, of course, ink and distress ink, of course, in particular. I'm going to be using some stamps. So we will be doing Memory Lane. This collection is from Close to My Heart. That's what it is. Hello, Becca. This is the number if you're interested. It comes in a wonderful card set if you are looking for some quick cards to make. We're not going to do the card set that this one comes with, but we are going to have fun using some of the stamps from this stamp set. I'm also using some stamps. These are one of my favorite for Happy Mail. This is from Miss Sparkle and Co. It's called Love and Card Making. At least I think that's what it is. This I bought in a used set, and it was labeled just like so. So I am not sure entirely that is what it's called, but it is a great set nevertheless, because I love these little hearts, and I love this little Happy Mail envelope there. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. One of the most fun things to make, I think, is a tunnel card. Hello, friends. Hello. Welcome in. We're going to play with color, of course. Splash of Color is our theme. And I used this Simon Says stamp nesting circles. It's called Stitched Circles. And I believe it's still available from Simon Says Stamp. But you can do this with any nesting die set. You can do it without a die cuts. You can do it with just, different sizes of circles. You can use a template, a stencil, whatever you have. And it doesn't have to be circles. It can be any shape that you like. So what I've done is I've cut one of each one. And so I cut from biggest to smallest. I don't have these glued in here yet because we're going to do some fun color things with them. I've got this on some watercolor card making paper. So it's going to be the perfect substrate to take in all of our color. And you can see it goes from the biggest circle all the way into that little tiny one right there. And I love that. This would make a really great junk journal waterfall, or even just a little mini booklet. We're going to do it as a card today. So yeah, let's get going. I'm super excited. I also have the envelope here because I want to make sure I decorate the envelope with these stamps once we get there. But first things first, we've got to splash on some color. All right. So when you're working with watercolor paper, it works best, of course, when it is wet. So we're going to use some water. I am not great at keeping a container of water on my desk because I'm always afraid I'm going to spill. Hi, Chris. Hello, tomorrow. So we're just going to go ahead and use my spray bottle. I use the Distress Sprayer. I love it. And just get our paper nice and wet. And I'm going to do a rainbow order. So none of these papers have been glued yet. I've just got them in order. And I also wanted to keep the edge of the paper kind of changing sizes as the circles shrink as well. So as the circles shrink, this part got a little bit bigger. So we're going to see how that all plays together. So the first one we're going to do is red. And I'm going to use Lumberjack Plaid. I'm going to be using my re-inkers today. You don't have to do that. You can use a regular ink block. You can use watercolors. You can use whatever it is that you have. I am just going to have a go with these. Okay, so I've got my acrylic block. You can use a paint palette or anything that you have that you like. We're just going to spray some water on here. We're going to spray some water on our paper. And I'm going to just let it get good and saturated here. We want it to splash after all, right? These are Distress Oxides. Hello, Diana. We are just getting started. We're going to make a fun tunnel card with lots of splashes of color. Doesn't look like we're doing a lot with color just yet because all of our paper is white except for my, this is just a scratch paper in the background. So with Distress Oxides, this is the re-inker. You do want to shake these up just a little bit because the stuff settles in there. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and splotch on some color here. Now we could just put it right directly onto our paper as well if we want to. Oops, there's a piece of my hair. We don't need that. Okay, there we go. And then I just have a regular brush, any brush that you like for like watercoloring or painting. Any of that will work. Okay. Now we could dip this, or we could just have fun painting it as well. I think this is beautiful. This is going to be the front of our card, so we want to make sure it goes from looking like somebody got a cut or something to a really nice front cover of the card. So we'll make sure we get all of our ink on here. I want to make sure I get those little stitched. This is a stitched circle nesting die, so the stitches on here are made by the die cut. So I didn't have to draw them on or stamp them on or do anything, and they are just there and lovely. Okay, let's go ahead. I think for the back side of this card, so we can kind of see the front, how it looks if you paint it on here. And for the back side, I'm just going to go ahead and dip it into this one. And we'll see what we can do here. Now, if we want it to be nice and dark and vibrant, we can dry in between layers here. Ooh, look how fun that is. Now I've got one spot of mist over here. Okay, let's go ahead and just do a little bit of drying. I'm gonna make a whole big mess today, that's for sure. All right, but that's okay. It's all water-based products, so it does clean up really easily. Just gonna add some heat. I'm already into a good mess, aren't I, Diana? Yeah, it didn't take me long. That's all right. We're going to have a really good project going here, though. I'm excited for how this one's going to turn out. Hi, Sharon. Yeah, this is lumberjack plaid. This is a nice vibrant red, so it's going to be right on the front here. I do like things in a rainbow order. So we're just going to have a fun play with a rainbow of colors today. And see how this one kind of lightened up over here. We've still got ink up here, so now that we have it dry, we can go right back in and add some more ink. And I don't really feel like I need to add any more water because this is pretty watery here. So we're just going to dip it right onto our card. Now this card is going to get fairly thick. This would be a really fun way to make a waterfall card for a junk journal as well. Or you can just send it as a fun card like I'm going to do. Okay. Now we're just going to wipe this clear. Our next color is going to be orange. All right, look how fun that is. I love that. Okay, we're going to set this one aside to dry. And yep, I've already made a nice mess back here. I've made a nice mess on the desk. Like I said, it all does just wipe right up though. So again, this is the Artistry Collective live event that we've been doing every Wednesday. So thank you for Christy for organizing this event. Up after me is Leah with Make All Things With Me. And she'll be doing, our theme today is Splash of Color. So I'm not sure what her project will be, but I'm sure it will be wonderful. Yeah, it almost looks tie-dyed right now. And if you dry in between your layers and add more to it, you'll get some of these really fun backgrounds and just some fun goodness here. So we're going to set that one aside, and we're going to work on the next layer, which is just a smaller piece here. And this one, I'm going to do the carved pumpkin color for this one. So again, right onto my block here. And I'm going to go ahead and spray the paper, spray the ink, and I need to rinse out this brush because I didn't do that. So again, I work with the spray bottle just to make sure I don't spill anything, but if you are a little better than me with using a cup of water, it really does work great to kind of swish around your brush a little bit. I do have some leftover water, and we'll just swish the brush. This does sit in a cup holder with a lid on it behind me, so we will rinse the brush in between every time just to make sure. Hi, Christy. Okay, so right back into our color here. We're on color 2 of our rainbow, and we're just going to swish it around. Wow, look at that orange. This one again is carved pumpkin. And I love how easy and fun this is. You can just paint everywhere that's anywhere. I want a really heavy concentration around the edges here. You could use an ink dabber to add extra ink, or you can just paint it on like this. You can let it drip and do all of the things. Spread it around. And you can dry in between the layers, and that's how we kind of get more of that tie-dyed, more depth in the background kind of a look. You can also put it right onto your card and spray. So you get lots and lots of different fun looks. You could do this through a stencil as well, but we're going to have some fun with some stamps once our backgrounds are good to go and a little more dry. Okay. So there we go again. I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of color. Now I'm not worrying about the back of these because they're going to all be layered together. Okay, so the parts that's really going to be showing are right around the rim of those circles. So I may want to go back in here and just add in some more color, especially in this one, so it doesn't look quite as yellow. I want orange to be the representative color of this card here. So just go in there. I want to make sure I got some good darkness along the edges there, and then I'm just going to smush what's left. And I'm going to smush it in areas that maybe are a little lighter, but you can see how that the smushing kind of creates more texture, especially since we had dried the layer in between. Okay. Just go ahead and rinse off our brush. We can rinse off our brush right here onto our acrylic block and then just wipe this off. Now, if you have a little booklet, sometimes I use a book block, you can dab off this extra ink, just kind of smush it right down into the pages and use those layers later in something else, either a collage or a background for a junk journal, something or another. Okay, and so this one we're going to set aside to dry as well. And what's going to start happening here is we're going to have these beautiful layers. Look how fun this is. And we're going to go a few more layers deep, so it's going to be fun. All right, let me grab another wet wipe so I don't start mixing colors onto my white paper. I think these types of projects are so fun. I love things in a rainbow order, like I said. And it's just really fun to get to see them all put together. Now I'm going to show you what to do if you don't have one of the colors that you want to do, but maybe you have an ink pad. So we're just going to go ahead and take, this one is Squeezed Lemonade. Look at that beautiful yellow. And we're just going to squish it right here onto our palette as if we had squirted some of the re-inker out. And let's swish around our brush in that cup of water. Make sure it's nice and clear of the orange because this is a beautiful yellow. All right, and we will add some water. I'm gonna spray it. When you spray your Distress Oxide, that is when you activate the oxidization fun that happens here. So we'll spray that. This is our next layer. And we're gonna go ahead and spray this paper so it's nice and ready to receive all of this beautiful ink. Okay, here we go. Here comes the lemonade. Who drinks lemonade during the summertime? I don't drink very much lemonade. I do like it when it's really hot though. I did die cut these circles I showed at the very beginning of the live. I'll show you again here in a minute once I'm done with this layer. I used some die cuts that are nesting dies from Simon Says Stamp is where I purchased them. But you can use any kind of, they call them nesting because you get different sizes of the same shape. So it can be any shape. It can be even random shapes, just different sizes, biggest to smallest. And you can choose how many layers you want to do. You drink sweet tea more. I drink more iced coffee. Ah, you like lemons but not lemonade. Interesting. I do like pink lemonade and flavored lemonades. I like them kind of like a slushy form. Anyways, yeah, you can do this this same tunnel effect with any shape that you want. You just need them in different sizes, and you can do it not with as many shapes if you want to. I chose as many shapes as I have because I want a rainbow order. So I want red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then I'm gonna do purple. Violet, purple, whatever. You could do like an ombre one, that would be kind of pretty. So like bright to light or light to bright. Okay, let's dry this and then we'll see if we need to add a little more vibrance to it. This lemonade color can kind of be a little lighter. All right, I'm loving that. And it is wrinkling the paper just a little bit because it got so wet, but it is watercolor paper, so it'll be fine. Tim Holtz will tell you water or paper doesn't really have a memory, so just bend it back the way it's supposed to go and it'll be fine. But if you really can help yourself and you need to straighten it out, you can lay it under something heavy, you can use an iron, big or small iron, whatever you want to do, and it will just flatten right back out. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of add in the rest of this ink. I don't feel like I need a lot of it, but we'll just drive it around so that we don't waste any. Okay, let me show you again the die cuts that I've used. So this again just wipes right off of your acrylic block. I do have a glass mat under here and I should be crafting with that, but a lot of times I just kind of bury it. Okay, so this is the nesting die set that I have. You can see it has these weird little dashes, but that is making the stitch lines around the edges here. So you can kind of get that nice stitched contrast without having to do any of the work. I just made 6 cuts, 1 with each size, and right, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. Yeah, 6. Okay, and then you can see they are going to nest like this, or well, this is the tunnel effect. The nesting is the dies. There we go. This one I cut a little bit shorter. It would have been better to keep it a little bit longer, the orange one, but they then I remembered what I was doing. So then they're going to layer like this, and we're going to keep going. Okay, red, orange, yellow. So now we're at green. Let's make sure we've got the yellow out of our brush. I'm not going to worry about it too much because mixing it with green is not going to be that big of a deal. The link for the die cut, if you just go to simonsaysstamp.com, I've had this one in my collection for a really long time. What did I just do with it? Oh, here it is. Nope, that's there it isn't. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, yeah. Go back in the video. I showed the numbers, and you can just type in those numbers in Simon Says Stamp, and hopefully they'll still have it available or something like it. You can type in nesting dies, D-I-E-S, pretty much anywhere that sells die cuts, and you'll be able to find those nesting dies. All right, now look, I have Evergreen Bough and I have Rustic Wilderness. I think I'm going to go with Rustic Wilderness because it is a deeper, darker green, and I think it'll stand out a lot more. I have nesting dies in all kinds of different shapes. Oh, there it is. I said it right there. Here is the number SSSD, so Simon Says Stamp die cut, and then 111456. So there we go. And this is one of the steel craft dies, so it's one of the thin metal dies. Okay, and I'm not affiliated with them. I don't have any training or affiliation or anything from them. I just like dies. I'm a die cut nut. All right, we're going to add some water there, and we're gonna add some water over here. Our paintbrush is good to go. And you could start first just by dipping this in here if you want to do it that way, or you can just paint it on. There's no right or wrong way to saturate the paper or make a background. Just have fun with it. That I feel like is the biggest thing. And I think once we do this color, I might add a little bit of that Evergreen Bough because I do love that color. Now, some of this effect that I'm getting is because I've wet the paper first. So you'll get different effects if you're using your paper dry, rather if you're adding water. Yeah, inks are some of my favorite thing to play with. I think I like it even more than paint. And you don't have to be an artist to do this. You can just have fun. That is the beauty of making these backgrounds. You can just have fun with it. We could put a stencil over this and dry some of the paper around so the shape would be there. Let's see. Let's try it. Let's do this one. So this one is a nice circular stencil. I don't know where this came from. It's just been in my stash here. Okay, there's that. And then we'll want a dry towel. And then we'll just start pulling out some of the color. And if we don't like this, the way that it stencils or however much color comes out or doesn't come out, we can always just add more ink. So no worries. Let's see. Now I got something kind of fun going on there. And then again, this is just water-based ink, so it just wipes right off. As long as you do it right away, it cleans up really easily. Now this one, we might get more of that effect if we went in with our actual ink and just brushed it in a little darker, but it's not going to show a whole lot because it's going to be layered over with the rest of our cards. Now I put a lot of extra ink on there. I don't know why. Let's do a little bit of some drying in between here. You can kind of see those spirals, just make some really fun patterns. All right, let's just add a little bit more ink here, just around the edges. I was gonna add in the evergreen bough, but I think I've got enough green. I love that. Look how that just layers right on there. We'll let it drip a little bit. And then we'll go around these edges again, because that's where the stitching is. This is where the focal is going to be on this tunneling card. So we'll just add in there. And if you get more than what you want, you can take your wet wipe or paper towel or whatever and just kind of blot it off and see it just kind of blends all back in. And we could, like I said, if you don't like something that's happening, you can easily go right back in with more ink or more water. If you want it to be a little lighter, you can add more water. Okay, now one thing that I really enjoy doing with any extra ink that I have, especially when I've got kind of a pond like this, is splashing it, just splattering it. So I'm just going to see all those splatters, and when it dries, it will be very splattery. So all kinds of fun that you can do with your inks. Be aware when you are splattering, though, to use a splat box or have some things kind of blocked off, because splatters get everywhere. I don't even know how they do it, but they really do. They get a little bit of everywhere. Okay. We're going to go ahead and wipe this up and move on to the next color. And again, you could save the rest of this ink by putting it onto another paper if you want to. I'm just gonna, for the sake of the video, keep moving. There we go. Just blot those little drips right off. Do a little more heat because it's pretty wet right there. They go everywhere but on your project. Yeah, they really do. Splatters can be dangerous. There is so much fun, but they really can get everywhere. All right, so look how that is as it's drying. A lot of this we're not going to see because it is going to continue making our rainbow back here. But we will see some of the edge, and then we'll see some of that fun tunnel on the inside. Look how cool. Okay, let's do our blue layer. And I did get some splatters on here of the green, but that's okay because our blue is going to be darker. I'm going to use Blueprint Sketch for this one. It is a recent found favorite. Absolutely love it. Blueprint Sketch. And I need to rinse out this brush. Okay. Try to go with just a little bit. Hi Katana, thank you so much for joining us. We are having a fun play with all kinds of color. Our theme today is Splash of Color. So I thought I would get us started off with just a whole bunch of colors from the rainbow. I have no idea what Leah or Christy has up their sleeve yet, but I'm sure it will be bright and vibrant. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to swirl right around the circle first. Oh, I love this color. And then the other place that really shows, ooh, look at that. I sat the paper on here and then that water just started grabbing it up. The places that are really going to show on this paper are the edge down over here and then around our circle. So I wanted to make sure I got those nice and saturated, and then we'll just keep painting the rest here. And you can set this right on the block and just have a good play here and let it drip. Look at those drips. I love that. Now this would be a great page on a junk journal. Maybe you just want a little window and you could easily use this for that. Maybe you have a special picture or a special word you want to put in the window. This could easily make a little flip flap, so it could fold open to reveal a whole picture rather than just whatever the word or picture is that you are putting in the window there. So much fun. Okay, let's do a little drying and then we'll hit those areas again. Do I have an apron on? I don't. I don't. I should probably, but I don't. But I almost need gloves. But I'm not my most creative when I'm wearing gloves. Yes, this is Blueprint Sketch, and I absolutely love this color. Beautiful blue. Such a fun theme to get to play with all these colors, especially as we're going to be headed into fall here before we know it, and the colors will be, you know, harvest colors, fall colors. So it's nice to get to play with the full rainbow here. Not that you can't use, you know, vibrant colors year round, but the most colors you start seeing are fall colors. So it's nice to grab onto this type of a theme and really get to play with all of those colors. Okay. And then I'm just going to go ahead and set this here. I know, I'm not ready for fall either, but as much as I am not ready, it is everywhere already. It's in the stores. People are already doing pumpkin crafts. I can't even believe it. I'm not ready for that. I'm still sipping my iced coffee and enjoying iced tea and some pool days. Although we did have some cool weather. We had some warm weather, and then it was really nice to have a little bit of some cooler days. Okay, so our last one is going to be a violet, and I have, what do I have? Lilac, shaded lilac. Yeah, shaded lilac. Hello, Leah. We are having a fun play with this rainbow, and I'm making a tunnel card. All right. We are on the last layer. We're going to do some purple here. This is shaded lilac. Make sure I don't have any of that blue left in my brush. We'll put this on here, a little spritz. Okay, and around the circle. Yep, I've already dipped it into the edges there. Let's dip this side here. And I think this one, I may use another purple just to kind of darken the edges, and we could easily do that on any of our pages. So as we start going in with some stamps and all of our layers are dry, we will do some little shading here. But this is a super fun way to make some backgrounds, even if you you know, haven't made a lot of backgrounds before. Maybe you're not feeling super creative one day, and you just want something fun to do. You can easily play with ink. Okay, I love that, how it's kind of darker around there. We'll dip this right in there. I think that pulled more color off than it put on. Let's go ahead and give it a little bit of some drying time here, and then we'll add some more in there. It's funny, that color has turned out to be really light. All right, let's go in with a little bit of some Villainous Potion, because that is a really dark purple. And I think it will add some really nice vibrance to our card here. And you can push the edges right into your ink pad. You can use an ink dabber. Ooh, look at that. Or you can just add the ink right to your palette and play with it like we have been. And I love how that is adding more purple here. Let's, of course, go around this little circle. That is going to be the spot we're going to see the most, and I don't really like that shape that it's doing there, so I'm just going to set it here, and we'll just kind of blend it. And we can add some more of this lilac color to kind of blend it all together. I love both of those colors together. I think it's really great. Again, like I said, you don't have to be an artist to play with these backgrounds and just swirl some color on here. The fun part is really going to happen when we start layering this together. All right. I've really darkened up that edge, which I like that a lot. Add some more here. And I'm going to set this backside on the block as well, because I think this one might show. I don't remember. But we can always add more ink too. All right, look at this fun mess I've made. Okay, let's go ahead and add some heat, dry it all up. Now, should it happen that you like the back side of this better than you like the front, don't be worried about flipping it around. As long as this is in the same spot where you want it, you'll be just fine. You can use either side. This is watercolor paper, yes. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to see what's going to happen when we start layering our sizes here to get our tunneling effect. And I love this. So I love what we're getting. Let's see, let me turn this down here. I love what we're getting down here as well. So once we start gluing these together, I like that we're going to have this nice torn edge. I did not do this torn edge. My paper came that way. Okay. There's our green. see how wonderful this would make as a waterfall. I think it would be beautiful. Here's our yellow, and that is a really vibrant yellow. Our orange. This kind of reminds me of those everlasting gobstoppers. Did anybody eat those when they were a kid? Maybe I'm showing my age. I don't know. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like as we glue them together. And we can also decide if we want to decorate these outside pieces here with some stamps. And I think that will be really fun. So I think this yellow, I need to tone the yellow down just a hair. And we can easily put, so you have to remember when you're decorating these that you're only going to see so much of each color. So this one, this yellow, we do see quite a bit right around the inside circle. So I think what I want to do there is add some fun hearts. Everlasting gobstoppers. I loved those. I don't know. I had one all the time. It was probably really gross and unsanitary, but I didn't care. I kept it in a little baggie, and it seriously lasted for like ever. Okay, I need a little stamping block. There we go. And these are just some little hearts. So I'm going to put these, I'm going to use fossilized amber. And we're just going to add in a little darker yellow. Okay, some of these are still really wet. And this paper is wet too, so I'm going to move this out of the way. You can see I do have a glass mat under there, which is probably what I should be crafting on anyways. Oh, there it went, guys. Down to the floor. I need to get one of those little pinchy grabber things. There we go. I got it. I haven't put on a craft gutter on my table yet, but I seriously need one. My goodness. Everything has a way of just launching right off of here. Okay, so I'm just going to put these right around the circle here. Now I don't have to do this on every layer, but just adding some fun other things to look at is really nice too. And I'm going to use this ink here just to kind of darken the edge a little bit. Yep, more mess. More mess. Today is make a splash of mess today, but I'm having fun, so it's all good, right? Okay. So now when we put this layer back in here, it's going to go after the orange layer. Look how fun that is. Our little hearts are going to show right through there. Love that. And this card I am making for a friend because I just want to send a little cheer. So I think it will be nice and bright. Okay, I love the little hearts. Now we can decide if we want to put something else. Where did my stamp set go? There it is. So this one has some really cute other little hearts. These ones are a little bigger and a little more solid. And I love that. So this is the Memory Lane stamp from Close to My Heart. This one is a recent stamp. And they do have it available in a card kit, and that was how I got this. This set was in a card kit, but you can use it outside of the card kit as well. Okay, so I've got these hearts. I've got this heart I want to put around the back side of that purple one. Let's see. Should we do something on the orange? Maybe we'll do some hearts all around the orange one. Okay, this is just a tiny little heart. These stamps are easy to lose, so make sure you know where you're putting it. Okay. And then I do have another color of orange that's Rusty Hinge, and I think I will use that to kind of darken this orange up just a little bit as well. All right, see if we can see these hearts. Yes, we can. Look at that. I love that. Just gonna go around the edge. And you can put as many or as few as you like. You can go off the edge, over the edge, around, wherever, however. Let them touch or don't let them touch. It's totally up to your own creativity. But don't stress, just have fun. Stamp it down. And remember, if you don't like it, you can flip it over and try again. Or maybe make one on each side and see which one you like best. I'm just gonna go with it because, well, that's just the way it is. I'm just going with the flow here. Okay, and then I'm gonna use a little bit of an ink dabber, and we're gonna darken up the edges here with this Rusty Hinge. I do like the vibrance of this color, but I kind of want them not to be so loud and in your face. Here we go. And I kind of want the edge to be a little bit like darker or deeper. I don't know. We'll see if it's even going to show up much. Oops. Okay. Put a little bit around there. Okay. So then just to keep us in perspective of what we're doing here, so we've got red, orange, and then our yellow will go in here. Very cute. I think on the green, I'm going to do a scripty font because they don't all have to be hearts. But I am hoping to send my friend just a little cheer. So let's use that evergreen bow, which is what I was going to mix in with the green. So we'll see if that helps get a little bit of some contrast. Now, when I say scripty font, it literally is just a scripty font. You don't necessarily look to it to read what it says. And you can find these in so many different places. Stampin' Up! Has them. Close to My Heart has them. This one, I think, came from Temu. AliExpress has them all over the place. Amazon will, of course, then have some because if some of you haven't figured it out already, Amazon does carry a lot of the same things as Temu, and then they just do the weight for you. Then you're just ordering from Amazon and not from Temu. So there we go. All right, let's put this around here, and we'll go ahead and just add it right around our circle. And it's very subtle, but you can kind of see it there. Maybe we'll go in and just add a little bit to the edge as well. There we go. Now, if you were going to make one of these, it might be worth the trouble to make 2 or 3 because you're getting out all these inks, and you might as well make, you know, multiples. I'm just making one today, but it is very easy to do the same process on 2 or 3 of these. Okay, so there we go. Here's our red, orange, yellow, and then there's our green. See that little scripty font is just going to be very subtle in there. And I love that. And then blue. What do we want to put on the blue? Maybe we don't even have to put anything on the blue. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. I love it. And then violet. I think maybe on the purple, I want to do maybe some of these smaller hearts. Or, actually, let's do this one. I think it might show. Let's do this little stitched heart. There we go. And we'll do it in Villainous Potion so it hopefully shows up really, really well. Now you can see when I'm doing multiple stamps, I just kind of use different areas of my block. And if they get in the way, I then move them off. I don't know if it's going to show very well. We'll try it. I think it's just a hair too small. Whoops, this one decided to get inked as well. There we go. Yeah, it kind of worked. Okay, and since that other one wanted to be inked, we can be a little bit different with this one, and we can put some hearts on the edge. That's hopefully going to show. So put this one here. Let's move this up so you guys can see, and we'll just do some hearts right here on the edge. And again, don't worry about the spacing. Is it perfect? Is it not perfect? Can you see the whole thing? Can you not see the whole thing? It's all just going to come together, I promise. And if it doesn't, it's just paper. Okay. All right, let's start gluing. I'm so excited. Put these little guys back in here before I lose them. Yep, what did I do with this one already? Oh, I put it away. Ha! Okay. And I didn't put anything on the red, but that's okay because I do have a sentiment, and we're going to stamp that separately and then cut it out, and then we'll layer it over. So maybe though, maybe I want to do a little bit of some scripty font here, and that'll just help tie it all together. I can use Festive Berries. That might be fun on the red, or Candied Apple. Nope, I'm going to go with Festive Berries just because. Now I could use a brown, but I want to kind of stick in the same color palette so that we are bringing out these colors. I don't even know if you can see that. I don't even know if it's worth the effort on that one, but it'll be part of the background nevertheless. It's still kind of there. All right, fine. We'll take it. It's there. We got a little A for effort on that one, I think, but that's about it. You can kind of see it. And then the glass mat just wipes right up. Now I need to take some hand sanitizer and clean up this glass mat. It has so much glue and stuff on there. Okay, let's start gluing. I'm going to put glue right around the inside of this circle. You can see it's not very pretty right now on the back side, but we'll see what we need to cover up once we start gluing. The glue that I use is Prima glue. This is their gilding glue. I am a Prima stockist or retailer, so I do like my Prima products. Okay, and I'm just gonna flip over here and see that I've got it all lined up in the right place. That one, this watercolor paper I haven't really worked with for a while. There we go. There we go, that's better. Now we've got it showing down here. We've got a nice rim on the inside there. Our little hearts are showing. All right, next layer. This is going to make quite a thick card. I'm going to also put some glue at the base here because I didn't do that on the other side. But I think it's fun nevertheless. I love the tunneled look. All right, let's flip it over, make sure we've got it positioned where we want it. I'm going to go all the way to the crease with this one. And if I think I'm showing more yellow than I want, I could right now tear a little extra of that off, and I think I might do that. If you like more of an overhang or torn edge, then you can keep it. Hello, Christine. You're loving it. I love all of these things together. It's so much fun. Now, I'm not the first person to ever put together a tunnel card, so if you want to see more of them, just type in tunnel card or tunnel book, tunnel paper crafts, and you will see all kinds of them out there. Okay, now we need to add just a little bit more of this because now I made a white torn edge, but that's okay. We can fix it. There we go. All right, and I've got just 6 minutes left, so hopefully we'll get this all glued and you guys will see how it's going to be together here. And then you'll get to go see Leah with Make All Things With Me. And drive around our circle and add a little glue here to the edges. And again, like I said, you can use whatever colors that you like. You don't have to do a rainbow. You don't have to do so many colors. You might just want to do like red, white to pink or something like an ombre effect. You can do whatever speaks to you. Or heck, maybe do a bunch. Maybe you really love this and you just want to make a whole bunch of them. So there's that. And if it goes over on the edge, we can trim the edge down just a little bit before we decide that we're done. So I think that last one, I did get a little carried away here over the edge, but that's okay. See this edge here? We can either leave it like it is, or we can trim it. I do want to make sure it still folds though. I do want a functioning card. There we go, perfect. And we just need to put in the purple. Get rid of this glue. Make sure I don't have any glue everywhere else back here. Okay, and now we need to see if our little heart is going to be right there in the center. It is, look how cute that is, I love that. Now we could also put a little tinier heart here on a piece of paper and have a heart right in the center, and there's our hearts at the edge. I love that. Okay. Go ahead and glue this one. Now I didn't glue all the way right to the edge because I don't want to put glue on the parts where there's no need to glue there. Does that make sense? This is an overhang, so we don't need glue over there. All right. Actually, I don't think it looks too bad as far as the edges go, but you can, if you have a guillotine trimmer, you could easily even those up there, or just use some scissors. Okay, now this part back here, we can easily ink. We can do all kinds of things. Since it's already red, I might just do some festive berries on here and dab it in that color. We could go right back to the lumberjack plaid that we initially started with. There we go. But I think this is a fun color for on the inside here as well. We could also use just a piece of paper and kind of line it up in here. Kind of give us like a matted look. You could put a piece of lace or ribbon here. But since we're at the end of the rainbow, and then we're going to have this, see how it's going to color the inside of that heart. So pretty. And I think I really do like this purple like it is, just kind of a splattered look on there. We could, of course, add some glitter if we want to. We could add a little glitter heart right here. Any things that you like. All right, everybody, that is just about my time. I'm going to stamp this one that says sending you a big hug right on the inside here. And then that will be it for me. So hopefully I brought all kinds of splashes of color to your day. And I'm going to do this sentiment in ground espresso so it's nice and crisp. This is a archival ink, which is a permanent ink. So it won't smear and it'll be a little more crisp. And I'm just going to put it right here. There we go. Sending you a big hug. And don't forget to add a few pops of color to your envelope, because it's always nice to see those fun envelopes when they come in the mail if you are the recipient of some beautiful happy mail. So there we have it, guys. A fun tunnel card. If you've never seen this done before, just type in tunnel card either in Pinterest or YouTube or anywhere, tunnel book, tunnel card, and you will see all kinds of fun things. Maybe not quite as vibrant, but nevertheless, this was our Splash of Color event. Thanks again to Christy from Christy's Crafty Cottage for hosting, and head on over to Make All Things with me, and let's see what kind of splash of color Leah has for us. Good night, everyone.